Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living, and we are live from the bunker. Hope you guys are doing all right. Hope everybody is doing okay this evening. Enjoying a little bit more warmer weather. Still kind of wet, but hope you guys are doing all right. I actually have an idea, a theme, a thunk, if you will. Looks like I've got two people on here so far. Thank you guys. If you would, let me know if the video and the audio is pretty good. Coming in okay. Hey, surviving in Alabama. What you up to, buddy? Doc Falcon, how are you, sir? Hope you guys are doing all right. Before I dig into this, somebody had mentioned to me in one of the comments on a video I did, and I just want to put this out there, and I'll post the link below. Can see in here you're feeling poorly. I'm sorry you're feeling bad, dude. You okay? Or just kind of a Thursday night thing? Um, while he's getting back to me, somebody had posted that food that has been refrigerated can never have salmonella. Well, that's not quite true. Um, I understand you may just be tired. You've been doing a whole bunch. I hope you get to feeling better. Let me know. If you don't, you got my number. Um, Salmonella can still be present in frozen food. Um, it goes dormant to a degree. So if you are doing whole food, there's much less risk. But if you're doing stuff like ground beef, ground chicken, ground pork, sausages, and stuff, it can still be present. Now, the time between freezing it and cooking it is that little nebulous area where, there could be a problem. As long as you cook it really well, shouldn't be a problem. But freezing will not kill salmonella. It just goes dormant. So, like I said, the guy that was adamant about it, no, no, it won't. But what kind of doctor's appointment? Well, that's none of my business. I can't really ask that doctor. But I hope you get to feeling better. I'll say that because I forget we're talking with a whole bunch of other people. I hope everything goes okay. Hope you're feeling good. I've been kind of just run down. I think it was possibly because of just working in the okay blood work. I understand. And one of the things that I do, and I'll have to do a video on it because I can tell you how to do it. It's raw local honey, uh, black pepper, um, cumin, and cayenne pepper. Mix it up, and I have a spoonful of it every day with my coffee, and it warms you. I'll say that. Um, and if you're doing local honey, you get a lot of the local allergens. You get exposed to the local allergens, and it really helps. So that might be something. The hooch, hit me to that, and she made a bunch of it, and so I've been taking it, and it seems to help. You can spoon it in your coffee, and it's not terrible, but it might work, and it definitely is a perk you up. Yes, Doc Falcon, I am still thinking of doing honeybees. I got to get the property squared away and cleaned up, and I'll do a video on that later because there's some other stuff I'm still waiting on to talk about it legally. Some of you know what all's been going on, but I just can't elaborate too much until everything is signed off on. But yes, I would love to get a hive or two and stick one down in the orchard for all the peach trees. That'd be great. Yeah, because that way I could sponge off you and learn surviving in Alabama. I was listening to a couple of podcasts earlier, one yesterday and one today, and they had some really good stuff to say, and it was and they were talking about being alert and aware, kind of going along with what we're talking about. Um, Staying sharp, being sharp. And I can allude to this from what I've been doing since, we had that cold spell. I've been cutting wood every day. Every day I cut enough wood and fill up the wood box. Oh, we got 10 people watching now. Thanks, guys. Hit that like and subscribe if you would, because it makes my boss YouTube really happy. But I had noticed once I got everything really sharp, because I'm using an 8-pound sledge, and I get everything really. Hey, Salty. Hey, Sandy. How you doing? Once I got everything really sharp, it cuts so much better. No, no joke. And I know I'm over 50, and I know if you sharpen a knife, it cuts better. But when you're actually using your shoulders on a sledge, on a piece of wood, and it's like, this thing ain't working. Hey, Buckskin Saddlebag. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Hope you're doing okay. But then I started using the real fine side of that stone, of that puck, and I sharpened and sharpened and sharpened and sharpened. And I could cut wood without any problems for an hour, which I ain't no kid. I'm 55. But I was able to bust wood for an hour until it started getting dull. And it was interesting. Like I said, I was listening to these people that the same stone that you use to sharpen your tools with can also dull it if you apply it in an incorrect manner, which is true. Use the wrong angles, just like sharpening a chainsaw blade or chain. If you use it the wrong way, it just don't work, and you end up working against yourself. Same goes for an axe or a sledge or a knife, cutting stuff in the kitchen. It just don't work. So whatever it is that keeps you sharp, apply it vigorously to your spirit, to whatever it is that you want to call it. But sharpen yourself as well as you can, because then you can work better. How about that? I thought that was pretty good. And so I said that in 8 minutes. Now we got like 25 minutes of nothing. So, how are y'all? I'm just messing. You may notice that I have shaved. I'm cleaned up, clean faced, and everything. I had shaved and trimmed up my beard and everything. And I said, "How's this look?" And she said, "It looks like crap. I don't like beards." And I was like, "It's my damn face, woman. And I'm going to do whatever I want to. I'll wear my beard like I want to." And she said, "That's fine." So then I went in and shaved it. So now I'm clean faced. Yes, Surviving in Alabama. I'm actually making the t-shirt too. Sleep with vigor. No, she doesn't, Dr. Falcon. No, she don't, Doc. She loves me clean faced, regardless. No beard, no mustache. She said, "Well, you just should have left it all crazy like you had it." And I'm like, "Well, why didn't I?" She said, "Well, you look homeless." I don't really care. Somebody give me $1. She didn't go for it. So that's what I would have to say. Not the give me $1 thing. but you can give me $1, I'll take it. But whatever it does, whatever it is, whatever makes you a little bit sharper, you need to do it. I need to do it. We all need to hone ourselves. Oh, you're laughing, Sandy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for laughing at my pain. Yeah, it was pretty itchy, and especially since the weather warmed up, I thought, well, it's time to go ahead and shave this stuff off. Seriously, it was time. Because I look old enough, and if I have a full beard and a mustache, it's kind of, I do look homeless. And, if I were me, I would call the police if I saw me outside my house. Away she goes. But um, think about what it is. Yes, it is. Um, think about what it is that keeps you sharp, that makes you sharp. Could be something good, could be something not so good. You only shave for Saturday night. Well, there you go. That's, at least you have a schedule. Um, but whatever it is, use it. I mean, there's nothing worse than having a dull axe, and you've seen it before, and you guys have done it before, because I know y'all have cut a bunch of wood or cut something, whether it's something in the kitchen, and you go to cut it, and it's like, nah, it just don't work. And you try to cut it again, and then it just don't work. You ever cut bread with a dull knife? You end up coming out with like a big old flat piece of bread. It's kind of the way it is. So if it is aluminum cone hat, we're going to do some tinfoil hat stuff, and I will be wearing a tinfoil hat. There's nothing wrong with that. Keeps the aliens from telling you stuff. If it is something that causes friction, that's really not a bad thing, because it keeps you sharp. So it's all about finding what it is. And it could be, like I was saying, it could be something that keeps you sharp, something like your devotionals. I understand, Doc Falcon. Yeah, I understand. I told my wife, I'm going to buy us a nice set of knives, and ain't nobody touching them things but me. And everybody else can have them old janky knives. Y'all know what janky is. We from the country. It could be devotional. It could be being with your family. It could be doing some research on something that appeals to you, like me with the hydroponics. Or it could be Cutco knives. Yes, I'm familiar with Cutco. I have bought a few through my life, and they're not bad. People give them a bad rap, kind of, sort of. But I think it's the pyramid thing that they have associated with the Cutco knives. But they're not bad. Cutco knives ain't too bad. But I don't want to be in on their pyramid. Um, so what else going on with you guys? It seems like we have all lived through the weather, all that cold, crazy stuff. And now we are into the wet, nasty stuff, at least here in Alabama. I've gotten rained on for the past 3 days. Come home soaking wet just from being outside and doing all the work, trying to get everything caught up. What's the weather like where you guys are? We're all friends and family. So what's the weather been like? Rain all day. Yeah, Doc, I know where you are. Yeah. I'll be heading up that way in the next day or so. up towards Chattanooga, and it's good grief. At least it's not ice though. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is 58 or 60, something like that, degrees here. Every creek around here is out of the banks. Yes, sir. It is. My front yard is flowing. Um, if I still had a kayak or a canoe, I could set it in it and go from one end of the property to another on the closest to the street because it is flowing. But, we're getting ready for spring, so it's a good thing. Hopefully, all that cold and ice, think about it this way. Hopefully, all that cold and ice, we had 5 days of really bad cold weather. Maybe that killed some of the mosquitoes. One can hope. Anyway, um, I was thinking that might be nice to go into the spring with a lot less mosquitoes. Now, one thing I have heard is that we are supposed to be having an incredible cicada emergence. We're supposed to be having two major swarms down here, well, in the southeast. I won't say down here in Alabama, but in the southeast, we're supposed to be having two of the documented swarms coming in of cicadas. And those things, while they don't really cause a problem per se, I've never really known them to eat my garden stuff. Now, they will chew on a couple of leaves. Have y'all ever noticed a problem with the cicadas or anything like that, other than them just making the crazy noises and the cats and dogs eating them? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, doc. That's my thought as well. I don't. I mean, I have seen them. Yes, sir. Surviving in Alabama, the chickens will eat them pretty good. They will, as of last year or whenever they had uh, the the big swarm, might have been year before last. They will eat them up, and the cats eat them, and the dogs, if they're on the ground, they will eat them too. Um, we have bats on the property as well, which is kind of cool. And so the bats have a big day with them. But the dang cicadas are almost as big as the bats because the bats are about as big as your hand, and the cicadas are, about that big. Uh, yeah, yeah, and they're kind of odd looking, but it was fun. I know we had the grandkids with us, so might have been 2 years ago when we had the really bad swarm of them, and the grandkids thought they were just kind of cool because they look like monsters or dinosaurs, and they seemed to have a really good time playing with them and everything. And then we talked about cicadas and what they do, and blah blah blah, and make it into a little bit of a learning experience for them, and they'll remember it when they get older. You would hope anyway, because it's pretty cool stuff. Um, One of the things that I have been really doing some research on and is on different types of compost because I composted some uh, cicada traps. Yes, sir, doc. They are pretty good live bait. You could. I don't. You'd have to do some sort of pheromone attracting because I don't. I mean, I know they eat leaves and stuff when they emerge, but I don't know much beyond that what they do. Um, hey, Marvin. Yes, sir. Just like, hey, Marvin. Yes, sir. We used to do the same thing, just like we did June bugs. Um, Now, June bugs will eat up your garden. Um, And for those that don't know, June bugs are Japanese beetles, and they are from hell, pretty much. And that goes back to talking about trapping them, doing the pheromone traps and then the soapy water traps for those June bugs, because they will eat up your your grapes, your muscadines, your peach trees. Yes, sir, we did. I know, because I was thumping them and killing them as fast as I could. Um, your squash, your beans. Oh my God, they eat your beans like crazy. Um, it's just what you deal with. And what do? You can only spray so much, because you really don't want to put out a lot of pesticides and everything, because you kill the beneficial guys. So, you can do pheromone traps, which I did. I know Surviving in Alabama did the same thing. And it it works pretty well, but you know, it just it just depends, really. That's kind of like the take home. It just depends on the location and where you're doing it, and how it works. Did you have any problems with June bugs last year, Marvin? Oh, and you guys will be happy to know I have talked to a buddy of mine. He's going to help get me set up on Steam something, whatever it is. Steam. I know it's not Steam Pump. I keep wanting to say Steam Pump. Steam Press. I'd rather call it Steam Pump. Um, but and that'll be cool, because that way you guys can come on in theory. And again, Marvin knows more about it than I do. Um, but that buddy of mine, Kevin, the Broken Nomad, he's kind of down, and he's having some stuff done. So he is incapacitated for the moment. So hopefully, in the next few days, he and I can get together and get everything working. Maybe so. Maybe so. Um, Hang on, I'm catching up reading. So I'm going to continue to still try to do these uh, around 6. Now, Wednesdays, I know we have church. Sundays in the evenings, we have church. So we'll have to adjust accordingly, something like that. Oh, I think YouTube is is telling me that they're about to send y'all an ad or something like that. Ads will run shortly for some viewers, 35 seconds. Skip it if you want to. I don't know. YouTube does that. Just do it for 4 nights a week. I may. I may do it that way, and if I can do it earlier, I might do it earlier. But it's kind of funny. I like doing these live streams now, but the way YouTube, just the deer, there you go, is because of the variety of things that we talk about. Oh, said an ad just inserted. Um, hey, Broken Nomad, I was just talking about you. Um, Wood-fired steam generator to change the batteries for the longest term. Something about old line technology married with new technology. Absolutely. Um, a lot of people don't think about that kind of stuff anymore. Think about hydroelectric. That's been around. Geez, for a very long time. And if you want to, you can really go back in time, because it goes back to an Archimedean screw, Archimedes, um, which 5 or 6 thousand years. So hydroelectric water power has been around forever. and wood fired stuff. Yeah, yeah. I've gone to some of the old trade days, like at Tannehill, and every now and then they'll have those guys out there with those old tractors and those old hit and miss engines, the one cylinders that pop, 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 make that kind of noise. And those things are really cool. And then every now and then you'll get the guy that has like an old steam powered tractor, which is really, really cool. So it's basically a mobile boiler, and it has a PTO so you can hook stuff onto the back of it. And imagine, having to do that to plow as opposed to like having two horses. Um, but that was cutting edge. That was going from a flip phone to an iPhone, guys. When people were doing plowing, just just plowing with one horse or two horses or a mule or mules, stuff like that. Um, I think it was Buckskin Saddlebags. He's already gone. He was telling me he lives on the property. He inherited property from his family, but when his grandfather homesteaded on that property, he had a mule. That was it. He he ain't got no axe. He he ain't got nothing other than the mule. And then he did work, and he got enough money to get an axe head. You make the handle yourself. Um, and it's just amazing because you go out there and you go out into this Alabama, Tennessee, whatever state is above Tennessee. I'm kidding. Um, but the Carolinas and everything, that was the Wild West. After the Revolutionary War, that was it. I didn't know Doc Sprocket had one. I'll have to holler at him. Kentucky, I don't know. Kentucky might be Yankee. I'm not quite sure. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't know he had a hit and miss engine. That's really cool. I'll have to ask him about that. I talked to him briefly during the all the ice and everything that we had, and he was laughing at me. Like, what? He said, "I'm laughing at you in Canadian because that's not snow." I said, "No, it's not. It's hell. It's hell on earth for us in Alabama, anyway." Um, I have to ask him about that. The coal dust is crazy. We, eh, yeah, um, we had a whole lot of coal mines around here, or especially where I was living, and they were, you could always hear the fans for the mines because it was. Well, I used to go underground with them, doing some stuff. So we'd go up 1,400 feet down, and I'd do my work and come back up. But those guys did it, and then there were seven above ground fans, and these fans were, when I say fans, you don't really get the scope of it. The fans were about as big as my house, and they had seven of them, and they would pull air up out of the mines to cycle air because they, while you're underground, they're running electrical equipment and they're running diesel stuff and they're running gasoline stuff, so you get a lot of fumes and everything. You get a lot of ozone buildup from all the electrical, all the boxes and PLC panels and all the big motors and everything. Um, oh yeah, surviving in Alabama. Yeah, more coal. Moore, coal, and that stuff burns good, burns hot. Lord have mercy. Because I used to buy it from them in 50-pound bags because it is really good if you're going to burn a stump. Put 10 pounds on top of it, and not that I ever did it, but take an old tire, lay it on there, and fill it up with coal, and you burn that stump. Um, but I don't do that kind of stuff because that's bad for the environment. Over at coal mine had to sign a paper. Yes, we had to do the same thing because they kept blasting. One of the problems at the old property was they kept blasting and it kept breaking our water lines. Uh, oh yeah, coal or coke. Um, and if you need some coke, COKE, not the nose stuff, but the COKE, you can get that from ABC Coke in Tarrant City. I used to work with those guys. Yes, sir. Yeah, you sure can. A lot of people don't know, but when they run that stuff on the rail lines, a lot of it shakes loose. And we did the same thing, but we would give it to like some of the old people. This was back in Childersburg, uh, coal heaters in Wisconsin. Yes, sir. Yeah, because that stuff you can burn coal in a wood burner, but I I don't know if I do it a lot because that thing will burn the sides out of it. Because coal just really a lot of BTUs in that thing, and it heats it up quick. I wouldn't either. I mean, unless I had to. I just because it gets hot. Well, it's hot enough to melt, melt metal. So that stuff gets pretty dang hot. But I'll holler at you later, surviving in Alabama, and give you the information on getting a load of coal if you need it. Um, but yes, sir, you can absolutely still get it. Um, we are at 32 minutes, and like I said, I try not to keep you guys too dang long, just on the middle of the week. I know you guys got schoolwork to do. So, yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, well, you are melting metal pieces to get together, and that's what you're using. You're using the forced air and the heat from that coal, so it will, sure enough, generate some heat. But I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, I'm just going to do a short one because I know you got a lot of stuff to do during the week. Because we all have stuff to do once we get home and get off work. But I will do my best to do another video tomorrow. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Making like breaking, Breaking, breaking teeth, like the teeth that are on a bucket on a, man, them pork chops are good. Um, on like a front end loader or a skid steer. Yes, sir. Well, all right, guys. Y'all take it easy, and I will give y'all a holler. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Hopefully, it will be about the same time, around 6 o'clock. You guys take it easy. You guys be safe. Think about what makes you sharp. Good night, Sandy. You have a good evening. Marvin, when you were growing up, you had a coal furnace, everything had a wood burner. Yes, sir. Yeah, like I said, that stuff will get a fire going. It sure will. Not you could do a piece or two to get your fire going. Because it burns. But I will tell you, it will burn a stump pretty good. Answer your phone using Signal. All right, I'll do it. You guys take it easy. Be safe. Ahala. See ya. I got to get to turn it off. There we go. Now we're going for real.